What's up, people? It's your man Urban Lover coming from your mama's basement. Today I want to talk about actually about Jordan Clarkson. I also want to talk a little bit about that Minnesota Timberwolves game. I'm not going to talk too much about the Minnesota Timberwolves game because this video is kind of old. Well, the game is kind of late. I should have been put this video out, but I've been busy. But I definitely want to touch base on that. And also I got another video dropping probably later on probably tomorrow. I'm gonna touch a little bit about Julius Randle as well. Now, I want to talk a little about Minnesota. Then we'll get right into the Jordan Clarkson situation. Okay, so Minnesota, we played Minnesota a couple days ago. You know, we got beat, but in reality, we were still in the game. You know, even with the little bit of weapons that we had, we were still in the game. And guys, you got to keep in mind, Minnesota was with mostly all their top-notch players. All their top-notch players were there, and the Lakers still played pretty good down to the wire. That's when, like, towards the end, they really started losing. Well, it started falling away. Now, the thing is I want to say real quick is this. Now, Kuzma has been playing like 40-plus minutes the last 3 games. And this game right here, he didn't really do too good. He was like 8 for 18, but he was good behind the arc. He was 6 for 11. And he was 9 for 13 before the free throw line. Now, I'm going to talk about him later on in the other game when we played Memphis Grizzlies. But I'm going to add that when I talk about Julius Randle. So, if anybody, especially somebody named DeAndre Page, decide to talk about that game, wait for that video to come, and I'll address that. Now, Jordan Clarkson started at point for the Lakers. He went 8 for 23, 0 for 3 behind the 3-point arc. He had 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals, and 2 turnovers. Now, if you look at his stats, you say, all right, well, that was pretty good. I mean, you got players that actually, star players that actually go 8 for 23. Matter of fact, I said in my last video where even Kobe went 8 for 20 something. It happens. You had those nights, but keep in mind, Jordan Clarkson is shooting 50% from the field. Not from the 3-point. I think he's like 35% from the 3-point arc. But his bread and butter is his penetration in the paint and his 2-point shots. And his little floaters he get within the paint. But he has a lot of moves in the paint. Now, the thing is, I noticed, just been watching the game, and paying attention. Now, I know a lot of fans would say that Jordan Clarkson needs to come off the bench. He's a 6th man. He's this, he's that. To be honest, he just don't fit Lew Walton's system. I'm just being honest. If you look at it, that's probably why he comes off the bench. And I'm not saying that Lew Walton, is like, basically telling him like, hey, just go out there and do your thing, whatever. Personally, I think Lew Walton is allowing him to like just give him the green light. Like at the beginning of the season, he said that Jordan Clarkson needed to pass more, but also be aggressive at the same time. Almost similar to what Byron Scott said to about D'Angelo Russell when he had D'Angelo Russell. Now, the thing is that, now I want to say this real quick. Jordan Clarkson is your new generation type of point guard. The shoot first, pass second type of point guard. He can, mark my words, he can go to another team and be successful. Coming in at, being a number 2, being a second round draft pick. He can go to another team and start at the point guard position on another team that believes in that shoot first, pass second philosophy. The thing about that is this. He doesn't fit this system because this system is based on a lot of movement with the ball, a lot of ball movement. Some games he will do that, then some games he'll take it upon himself to basically take control of the game. And a lot of times he over dribbles, but he's not the only one. I just want to be honest with you guys just to make sure that you understand that. Ingram does it. KCP does it. Kuzma does it. So when everybody sit there and talk about Jordan Clarkson as the ball hog, you got to look at these other guys as well. That's the reason why I say that I try my best to not be biased, but look at everybody and say, okay, well, there's other players that do the exact same thing, but we give them a pass, but Jordan Clarkson doesn't get a pass. Now, in this game against Minnesota, they played pretty good. Like I said, Minnesota actually didn't run to until towards the end. They actually was killing us on the inside because a lot of their shots on the outside wasn't falling. And you heard Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, and Shaq said that these guys need to run, but Minnesota were trying to get I guess they were trying to get the offense going because they would basically shoot the ball with like 8 to 5 seconds left on the shot clock, which I don't understand because we were already depleted. We didn't have Brandon Ingram, we didn't have Lopez, and Ball. But instead, Minnesota let us hang around, and that's what people fail to realize. We still play a good team who's in the top 5 in the Western Conference, and we played them pretty good. Just that we can't capitalize on the win. Josh Hart came in, got 39 minutes. Josh Hart to me, and I'll say this over and over again, I love Josh Hart, but And I say, we should never sign KCP. We should basically see what we had when we picked up these young guys, these rookies. Now, nobody expect Josh Hart or Kuzma to be what they are right now. No one expect that. So I gotta say A+ to Matt Johnson, the front office, for the draft, the scouting, whoever they had scouting for these players. I gotta give them kudos for that, because so far 3 out of the 4 are pretty successful. I can't say too much about Thomas Bryant because we have not really seen him yet. He hasn't got the minutes. But in the G League, this dude is killing. But that's the G League. And I'm not going to knock the G League because Kuzma played in the Summer League with a bunch of almost similar to the G League. And it transpired over into, the NBA level. So I'd like to see Bryant eventually. Hopefully we will see him, but we don't know when. All the timetables and Luke Walton rotation can tell, which we never will know. Probably will be next year, but it is what it is. But you look at, like I said, KCP been struggling. He's been struggling ever since, his situation, his personal situation. That 25 thing that's going on with him, 25-day thing that's going on with him. He's been struggling. He was 3 for 11, 2 for 6. Josh Hart, he had shot 2 for 8 from the 3-point arc. Josh Hart been playing pretty good defense, and he's been playing small forward. I don't really like him playing small forward. I really think that Kuzma should play small forward. Like right now we're not winning. There's nothing wrong to try. Try different lineups. Try Kuzma at the small forward spot. And see what happens. Bring KCP off the bench. Why he, because right now this guy's in and out the lineup. Based on his situation, I would go ahead and let Brandon Ingram run it too, while KCP really, deal with his situation. And I would just see what happened. I mean, it doesn't hurt to even try. Right now, we're not winning, so it doesn't hurt to try Kuzma at the 3. And I know somebody said that, well, Kuzma doesn't like to play the 3. It's not what Kuzma wants. It's about getting on the floor. And sometimes Lou won't have to take that initiative to be the coach and not your buddy and say, okay, this is what we need to do. Because at the end of the day, you got to try them guys and see what works for the team. Because at the end of the day, you got to get Julius Randle on that floor. He only played 19 minutes. He had 16 points, 7 boards. And they got him constantly playing the center spot, which is nothing wrong, but he gives up a lot of height. The only good thing is that he's strong, so he can basically move people off the block. So that's not bad, but guys can shoot over him. So he can't really block him, but he pretty much is like physical down low with him. And in some of them, and 90% of the Muslim players that he play, if he's not double team, they really can't stop him. But we played pretty good against the Minnesota Timberwolves. We lost, like I said before, Enos got a couple minutes and Caruso got a couple minutes. I like to see more Caruso. I like to see less of Enos. Nothing against Enos. I just think that his game is almost similar to Jordan Clarkson, shoot first, pass second. But Jordan Clarkson, like he said in when his comment, when he talked to him, he said that he's not used to starting. He's used to coming off the bench and being instant offense. That's the main reason why when he comes in to start, he's looking to shoot. Because that's what he did when he's coming off the bench. And I understand that. He only playing like 19 minutes, 19, 20 minutes, so he's trying to get the best out of it that he can. And I know sometimes it's frustrating because, there's games where he should be on the floor because he's our best shooter, next to Kuzma. And I'm talking shooter. I ain't talking about penetrate. I'm talking shooter next to Kuzma. But instead, Luke Walton decides to let other players be on the floor who ain't hitting no shots and just there. And taking Kobe shots, which they shouldn't be taking, So a lot of that falls on Luke Walton for giving a lot of players the green light with the go-ahead shots when they don't need to. But, all in all, I'm hoping that the Lakers turn it around. Right now, like I said, I got another video out because I'm going to talk about the Memphis one after this one. But right now, with Jordan Clarkson's situation, I really didn't want Jordan Clarkson to start. I'd rather for him to come off the bench. I'd rather Caruso start. Not Enos, I said Caruso. Like, Caruso can start. He can play like 12 minutes and Jordan Clarkson come in. Only because I don't want to see him lose the opportunity to win in the 6th Man of the Year award. Because I think Eric Gordon already started a couple times for Houston, if I'm not mistaken. If he didn't, then that's going to be a battle between him and Jordan Clarkson. I got to check and see if he started. Now, I'm not too sure. I started focusing on the Lakers, so I kind of stopped watching the other teams. But right now, at this point in time, I love to see Jordan Clarkson continue to come off the bench. I don't really want him to start for, for a Luke Walton system. He don't fit Luke Walton's system. Luke Walton's system is supposed to be a pass-friendly system. Lonzo Ball fits Luke Walton's system more than anybody. Only because he gets other players, set other players up for easier shots. And that's basically what the Lakers were missing against Minnesota. Not so much Ingram. I mean, Ingram, don't get me wrong, he's a good player, but Lonzo Ball is more missed than Ingram is. And the only reason why I'm saying that because a lot of guys on our team had a lot of contested shots, a lot of forced shots, and that's the reason why you see somebody like Kuzma go 8 for 18 because you're not getting the open penetration, you're not getting a pass that's getting you easy layups and easy looks. So it makes it much harder and difficult for these players to actually score. Now, like I said, at the end of the day, Jordan Clarkson, I'd rather him come off the bench, but also at the end of the season, I I think the Lakers might try to move Jordan Clarkson. I really don't want him to move, you know, because I love him coming off the bench. But if we got to move him, I'm okay with that. And the only reason why I'm saying that because I know he can go somewhere else and start, you know. And I think that Jordan Clarkson need to understand and realize this, that this is a business, and I have to understand as well this is a business. And sometimes you're going to lose some of your favorite players in order to make opportunity for other players. Now, with Jordan Clarkson, he goes somewhere else. I truly believe he's going to be pretty good. You know, a lot of people say he's basically like what's that? Monte Ellis, almost similar to his game craft or whatever. I kind of say, yeah, that's true too. But I think that he's not really getting the time to flourish. I mean, 21 minutes is not enough time for a person to actually see what he got, you know. And I keep telling people over and over again, you can't compare him or Julius Randle to the guys that's getting 35 minutes plus. It's just not fair. Them guys are getting 21, 19, 18, 17 minutes, once in a while 25. They're not really getting to their rhythm. And then sometime when they get in their rhythm, Luke Walton decides to sit them down in favor of somebody who's struggling, which I don't understand. So right now in the Jordan Clarkson dilemma, I'm hoping that Jordan Clarkson, you know, if they decide to keep him, that's cool. You know, you can still come off the bench, but it's going to be hard because you now Josh Hart is getting a lot of minutes, so Jordan Clarkson will be the lost man out. And Jordan Clarkson is part of that history of Mitch Kupchak and Jim Buss. So maybe the Lakers are just trying to move away from that altogether. That's why Jordan Clarkson and Julius Randle are getting the shaft. You know, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, if I look at the lineup, besides Larry Nance, they're like the only ones that really left over. And Zubac, I mean, if you want to call that. But other than that, that's about it. Zubac ain't getting no playing time, so you can't really look at him as well. But Larry Nance, I mean, that's another story because eventually when somebody else come in, another power forward, Larry Nance is not going to get that much playing time. Larry Nance is much more as a bench player, and there's nothing wrong with that because you do need bench quality players. But if the Lakers decide to move on with Jordan Clarkson, I hope he go to a team where he can actually start and get the chance to actually solidify his game and take it to the next level. I don't think that the ceiling is reached for Jordan Clarkson. I think that he could be much better, but he's not given the amount of time in order to show what he really got. And that's the bottom line. Regardless of what fans say, oh, he reached the ceiling, you got to look at the minutes being played. You can't tell me right here and there that there's no starter right now that's getting 21 minutes. He's coming off the bench. He's dropping. Well, he was averaging 16 before his, you know, the last 3 games where he kind of struggled. And I think that had a lot to do with the, you know, with the rumors of him and Julius Randle being traded. So, you know, it kind of messed with him, you know, and then also him not playing, you know, being pulled every time when he's having a good game. So, and I know a lot of people say, well, you know, he makes a lot of butthead mistakes. And I say, well, to combat that, who doesn't on his team? I mean, we can go down the list. Your favorite basketball player makes butthead mistakes. So you cannot shy away from that as well. But anyway, it's your man, Urban Lover. Like, share, and subscribe. Like I said, I'm going to drop another video with Memphis. That's going to come out probably around like 5 hours from this one. Give y'all an opportunity to look at this so we can talk about it. I want to talk about Jordan Clarkson. I want to know what is your thoughts about Jordan Clarkson. Do you think we should trade him? Not really trade him. I mean, at the end of the season, trade him at the end of the season to make room for, you know, because LeBron James not come here. I just want to let you guys know that. And if he does come here, do not think that some of your favorite stars are going to be on this team. And I'm going to say this right now. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but let's be real. When he went back to Cleveland, they gave up one of their best players besides Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving stayed there, but they gave up Wiggins in order to get Kevin Love. So if LeBron come here and he say, look, I want to bring this person here. You know what I mean? We want to get a Cousins here, or, you know, a PG-13 here. And they say, well, we got to give us somebody. They say, okay, well, we can give a Jordan Clarkson. And the other team say, no, we want Ingram or Kuzma. Do not think in your mind that LeBron will tell the front office to go ahead and make that move. And I'm telling you, Magic Johnson will go in the cookie jar and they will make that move. I want to throw that out there anyway. But anyway, I'd like to hear from you guys what you think, you know, at the end of the season, what they should do with Jordan Clarkson. He should remain coming off the bench, or they should go ahead and try to move him, you know. And right now, like, I'd rather for him to go somewhere else. I love Jordan Clarkson, but this just ain't the team for him, man. I mean, this train wreck right now. And I'm going to call it a train wreck because, you know, a lot of fans say that, you know, we're better than we was last year. The only difference is that we exchanged offense for defense. Last year, before, when we was 10-10, our offense was ranking in the top 6. When we was pretty much, 10 or something, our defense was ranking in the top 10, you know, right now. But that's the only thing we exchanged for. We exchanged offense for defense. We can't find no offense. The defense is, you know, it's suspect. You know, a lot of people say the defense is pretty decent. It is. It's much better than it was last year. I will not be a fool and not say it isn't. But we don't have no offense. There's no shooters. It's hard for us to do a lot of things because we don't have no floor spacing because nobody can shoot. You know, and the ones that can shoot, they actually D them up pretty good. But anyway, it's your man Urban Lover. Like, share, subscribe. Have a blessed one. Take care and enjoy your day.